Okay, hello everyone, this is Phreak with another audio commentary for WCR and I'm sorry for the delay in, well, kind of two things. One, for not actually having done an audio in a while, and two, for doing not enough audios for a freaking long time. And with this audio, I am including a replay pack, which you probably saw by unzipping the thing, of a bunch of Night Elf games that I could have done audios on, that chose not to, so you should thank me for that. That's right, thank me. Go add a reply saying, "Thank you, Phreak, for not doing another Night Elf audio. If you don't, I'll punch you in the face and then block you." Or whatever, I don't know. Anyway, moving on to the topic of the actual game. This is going to be a human mirror, and it's a pretty interesting game. It's two fairly different strats against each other, and I just think it's pretty awesome. It's on Twisted Meadows, Human Mirror, 3WD Biger, BIGER, whatever, versus, obviously, SK Survivor. Goes to the 15-second mark, 1x speed, Survivor's point of view, or really anyone, doesn't matter too much. Fog of War going off, though, and hopefully I'll give some insight on a human mirror. I don't expect it to be the most popular audio ever, as it's human mirror, which only really human players care about, but, you know, whatever, it's all good. So, but it's still a good game, so I don't care. GG. Alright, let's go ahead and unpause this. Fog of War off, 15 seconds, point of view, whatever. Or you can just watch from Ob's point of view, I guess, but whatever. Anyway, let's unpause in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, unpause. So, there's a few different things you'll see in Human Mirror. You're always going to see Archmage first. The vast majority of human players, or anyone good, anyway, will go Archmage first. If you go MK first or Paladin first, you're a newbie, just shut up. Don't say, "Oh, but I own human players, I beat SK Survivor with solo MK and only militia." Shut up, you're a noob, no one cares, okay? If you don't go Archmage first, you're obviously a noob, so I wouldn't waste your time talking. But you're gonna see Archmage, and then you're gonna see pretty much one of three heroes next: MK, Naga, or Firelord. And from what I've seen, at least from what I actually cared about human and played human, people would always choose Naga if they could, because Forked owns, and Frost Arrows own, because that way you don't necessarily have to get Sorks. The AoE is very strong, it doesn't get owned by Spellbreakers, and it's a snake, so how can you go wrong? Yeah. Otherwise, you may see Firelord, and that'll be sort of a mass summons kind of thing, and you just wait for the Firelord summons to all propagate, you know, asexually reproduce, and there you go. And it'll have this huge, you know, ranged army and Incinerate owns, and all that fun stuff. So, as you can see, both these players are going Archmage first, because they're actually good players. However, Biger has a slightly faster Archmage, so he's obviously going to win this game, because, you know, having your Archmage half a second faster means that essentially you're instantly going to win. Now, while we're doing the boring part, I'm going to do a little bit of theory craft, I guess, on APM/micro or whatever. Just kind of think about it earlier and decided to actually talk about it in the audio. When you sort of look at all the Gosus who have like 300 APM or something like that, you have to realize that it's sort of doubled in the effect that to get a footman to go somewhere, you have to click him, then tell him to go. So that's two actions to really do one thing. You know, you have to click him and say, "Go here." Now, of course, there is obviously that spam in the beginning that always, you know, raises the APM when they're spamming rallies, just to make sure that they didn't, you know, mess it up in the first place. And pretty much that's just, holy crap, what am I saying? I don't know, it's just warming them up, I guess. But with you know, the actual in-game playing, you know, it's click then go, so it's really, instead of being 300 APM, it's actually doing 150 things, you know, 150 real commands every minute. So that means, okay, you're still doing 2.5 things a second. That's still a freaking lot. And I agree with you, that is a lot of things to do at once. You know, in a very short time span. And Survivor needs wood. Awesome. Go. Upgrade Town Hall, or... Alright, whatever. There we go. Anyways, so... Now, it is technically possible for someone to actually do stuff that fast. In Warcraft, not so much. In StarCraft, sure. In StarCraft, the more PM, probably the better you were at micro and at multitasking, because StarCraft was a lot more about multitasking than Warcraft is. Now, if you play Undead, you do the whole ghoul creeping DK harassment, then it's multitasking time, because then you get to show that you really go to. You know, that's why I think Mad Frog owns a lot of people, and that's why he won World Art Invitational last, I don't know, whenever, because he had this, you know, this brand new idea of multitask creep while harassing with a DK, and everyone who's Night Elf always did Beastmaster, and, you know, Archers or Hunts or whatever, and with the Beastmaster, there's no way you're going to stop that Death Knight. So, you know, that was something that no one could adapt to, no matter how well you micro. You couldn't stop the DK, you know, you're just as fast as them, which means you're not ever going to surround it, you have no way of slowing them down, and Mad Frog, you know, multitasks enough to not ever get owned by that. And so, sort of, that's kind of an off tangent, but in order to have, you know, 2.5 sort of commands per second, actually have them be useful, you have to really know, like, what you're doing with your mouse, and there has to be no loss in frame rate in the game, because, for instance, my video card is horrible. I am starting the fund for buy a freaking new video card, because mine sucks. It's Radeon 7000, and in order to, here's a comment I got about it. There was a forum thread, because I've been playing Command & Conquer 0 Hour a little bit recently, and it's about, you know, comp specs, and it goes over, you know, the processors and video cards specifically. And in the list of video cards, there's always a comment next to it, and my comment was, the worst Radeon ever made by the hands of men. That was the comment for my video card. You know, as in the one I'm using. The worst Radeon ever made by the hands of men. Obviously, it kind of sucks. So, I'm opening that fund right now. But in any event, that's just talking about how you really need a very fast frame rate in order to actually do stuff, because, you know, if you're trying to, say, build your Archmage or whatever, you know, you have to get your mouse, or you use the hotkey, but let's just say you're using the mouse. Get the mouse over to the altar, then click it. The thing is, in order to click it, the frame has to refresh that you're actually over the thing. Then you click it, it refreshes that you can actually see the thing, or, you know, the insides of the altar. Then you press A or whatever for your Archmage, and again, you know, then it finally builds. Now, if you consider trying to do that when you're, like, building Marines out of 3 barracks or something, that's gonna take a long time. Because, like, go over, click, M, go over, click, you know, and if you have, like, 5 frames per second, that's gonna be as fast as you can go, unless you really memorize where your mouse is going. Probably not gonna be that easy to do. So, in order for the ghosts to really do these kind of actions, they really know where their mouse is going, and their comps are, you know, up to spec, because, you know, I think it's conceivably possible to do 2.5 useful actions per second for an entire 30-minute game. It's possible if there are enough things to do. Now, I don't think there are enough things to do in Warcraft 3. There's simply not that much that's demanded of you all the time. Now, in battle, sure. Creeping, no. You know, you can get away with 60 APM creeping, because, look, focus fire. Okay, now do this. Okay, now, you know, and there's really not much you're gonna do there. But in battle, oh, you can constantly pull back a unit, come back in, use a storm, use all, you know, there's so many things you can actually do in battle in Warcraft that you know, the more APM the better. There is technically enough stuff you can do. You know, you could dodge catapult shots the entire time you're fighting a battle if you were really that good. So, you know, I wouldn't doubt some of these players, you know, just spamming during battle. A lot of them, there's really a lot of micro going on that you don't want to see, because there's a lot of small movements. You know, move a little bit left to dodge the catapult, for instance, or, you know, this, that, the other thing. The surround, you know, M-click, M-click, M, you know, that's a lot of commands right there for the surround. And, you know, sure, out of battle creeping, rally point spam, all that, you know, kind of useless, but there is definitely a large element of, if you can make all your actions useful, your in-battle micro will be insane. But in any event, going back to the game, you know, after talking about random crap for 7.5 minutes, you can see that there's the Firelord versus the MK. Now, one thing you're going to see from Biger is he's going to do this mass range strat, and everyone hates it. No one likes to face against mass range, because it's just annoying. It's hard to beat, and there's a lot of damage out there. Now, of course, there's Spellbreakers with medium armor, and there's Defend, which owns, but even still, with Incinerate and enough Focus Fire, you can knock out the footies really, really quickly, no matter what, because Incinerate adds 1 or 2 or 3 damage, or, you know, continuously adds on to every single attack. You know, so finally loses 70% of the damage from Defend. Okay, well now it's, you know, add 3 damage and you're almost back to normal. So, well, not back to normal, but, you know, it's better. So, One of the pluses of the mass range strat is pressure, because you can force a lot of damage, and although you don't have any slowing, which is some of why the Naga was so popular, but you can focus something. I mean, look at the damage on the Berserkers, like 33 average damage. That's insane. That's a lot of damage. Technically 32.5, whatever, F you. But they attack very quickly. Their range is pretty good. Standard archer range, better than a standard rifle range. Prior to the upgrade, the tier 2 upgrades. And, with that much damage and a pretty good attack rate, you can kill stuff fast. Here, watch. Hold down Alt. Watch how fast these footies die. Whoop! Down goes one. Oh, now he's got defend on. Okay, so now it'll be slowed down a little bit, and of course he's pulling a militia because really militia are one of the best base defenses in the game. There's another game I'll probably do in a little bit. It's versus Night Elf, and it's just pure abuse of base defense. It'll be fun, but we'll go over it later. Right now, really what they're trying to do. Let's go ahead and pause it so we can go over stuff. And yeah, so pause right now. Okay. 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 Cool. Yes. Can you close the door, please? Thank you. Yeah, everyone. So shout out to my mom for bringing in college stuff. Woot. Yeah. If any of you make any bad comments about my mom, I will kill you personally. Okay. So we're at I'm at 9:37 anyway. Not sure about you guys, but we are paused. And I'm going to talk about what you're going to be seeing here. I'm turning on ally colors because this is like really confusing yellow versus blue. Okay, so the militia are going home, as you can see, because their timers are about out. They'll be pretty much useless once their timers run out. Now you can see there's an MK in the middle there, and he's got bolts, so obviously there's no clap, and he's also out of mana, so he's just kind of a souped-up footman. Now you can see water metals all over the place and a bunch of range and all that, and really there's no easy way of telling exactly what everyone needs to do. But, one of them's got casters, one of them's got mass ranged. So, generally the ranged should be focusing on the casters. Of course, abolish the water metals away as soon as possible. As you can see, he's going to be doing that pretty soon. And he's been doing it pretty well in the prior fights. As for Survivor, Survivor's got footies and priests. There's not a lot of damage output, but he's going to have to do what he can because, he's still got the Archmage and the MK focus fires. It's not bad. He's got some damage, but not as much as the mass range. The range could kill those priests in about 2 seconds apiece. So that's what I think a Bagger should be doing, and it'll be pretty tough for Survivor right now because now that those militia have to go home, he doesn't have a lot of actual damage out. But footies do not do much damage, and heroes. Yeah, you've got heroes, but he does too. So not a lot you're gonna get from that. There's no huge advantage of I have an MK, I instantly win because he doesn't have any mana. He doesn't have any clap. So let's unpause. We'll see how it turns out. Unpause in 3, 2, 1. Unpause. So, as you can see, it ranged, instantly focusing on casters. You can see just how fast that priest went down. That's what you want to do. You want to get the damage type bonus. And as you can see, Survivor has to run because footies do not deal good damage. And now, he's adding in more advantage by putting in Sorks. Because, though the human player has to defend, well, guess what? Sorks do magic damage. And magic damage doesn't care about defend. And magic damage also owns the crap out of footies. So, even though he's got defend, you can still see that they die rather quickly. And after the Sorks have cast their slow, they're going to start owning. And now the MK is getting owned. Doesn't really matter because he doesn't have a lot of mana or anything, but that's going on. In any event, you can see that no success to pull back because of Spellbreakers. And that's pretty much your counter to this strat. Mass ranged and casters, breakers and priests. A lot of breakers, enough priests to heal and to abolish, or I guess dispel, and then you're fine because he's going to have a lot of summons that are going to be really close together. Both lava spawns and water metals have 300 range. They have pretty similar attack rates, pretty similar damage. The water metals are a level up, but with a brilliance or a firelight, you're going to see a lot of those guys, and especially with the splitting, you're going to see 2 or 3 water metals at a time, 3, 4, 5 fire metals at a time. If you can hit all those with one dispel, it's like 1200 damage for 75 mana. That's pretty good. That's pretty nice. But that's my opinion on it. I don't know. Take it or leave it, whatever. But essentially, you need a way of getting rid of those summons, because if you can knock out that advantage, because then you've got Brilliance Aura and Incinerate. Well, guess what? Brilliance Aura is helping to summon more guys, and Incinerate. Okay, fine, it's your passive, but if you can constantly dispel those summons, then all he's doing is giving you free experience for it. Of course, they're going to hit your units a few times, but if you have the mana, which you should because of Brilliance, and you have enough priests, which you should because he's got 2 Sanctums, you can constantly dispel all those and you'll be fine. And, it's still going to be tough because, Incinerate and Berserker Focus Fire, but, that's what's going down. Now, Survivor, as you can see, he picked up the Tomb of Retraining, and it's Tomb, not Tome. Wait, oh my god. Dang it. It's Tome, not Tomb. God, I'm a noob. I'm sorry. I fully admit I am a noob. It's Tome, not Tomb. God, I am retarded. Okay, anyway, we're gonna move on to the actual game now, and we have a Bloodless Mountain King. Ownage. GG. So, one thing to think about with the Tome of Retraining is that you do not need to rush it, until you actually need Blizzard. Don't use it, Same with really anything. This applies to teching, to expanding, to really anything. If you don't need it, don't do it, because chances are what you've got is probably more useful, Eventually you're going to need Bears versus Human. Well, if you're still doing really well with Hunts, or like he's messing Spellbreakers, why change? What you're doing is fine. You don't need to switch it up. Instead of spending your money on tier 3, spend it on an expansion. Then when he actually does something, then go ahead and adapt to it. But, he's got the Tome of Retraining ready, so that, when he wants to use it, he can. But it's not necessary right now. He needs to creep with Water Metal. He doesn't need to use Blizzard on some magic immune rock golems, So I wouldn't be, too worried about instantly doing it, because, it's going to be in your inventory for as long as as long as you don't sell it or you somehow drop it like a noob, which is pretty hard to do, I must say. And so here we go. You've got the Scroll of Protection, which he's going to use to suck up Spellbreaker shots. Spellbreaker's going to try to steal all the buffs away, and if he can just make him, say whatever, you can have Scroll Protection, but I get to get your army slowed, that's an advantage for Viger. So here we go. Imbalance, I must say. But he's also got Inner Fire, that's always nice. So we're going to see... No, just kidding. Yeah, he does have Inner Fire, my bad. But those were spell stolen. He just now got Master Training. So now you're going to see he's going to also start up an expansion, because that's cool. So here's what's going to happen. Is Survivor's really afraid. Now he tech up to Knights, and now you're going to see it's not going to be the best choice. But he thought, you know what? Knights should be a good idea. Now, to add to that, he's also got Vampire, but the thing is, it's going to be Mass Focus Fire against some 10% or 15% life leech. No one cares about the life leech when you're, focus firing for 200 damage a second. So that's not going to be useful. But Stormbolt owns, okay, thanks. And as you can see, wow, the knight just tried to run away, and even though he's got 5 armor, lost 200 HP. Now he's got 10 armor, now we have something interesting going on. And, by the way, Silence owns, just FYI. Now, here's what's going on. That goes off, and he constantly runs back away from Blizzard, so that Survivor constantly hits his own army, just as much as he hits his opponent. And as you can see, he's like owning the crap out of his priest. Just keeps re-blizzarding, kind of Blizzard's a little close to the front. He could put it more back and really do more damage that way. But, the MK is kind of running around, trying to get good claps off. You can see he's going to clap here, and then he's going to sort of run back. As you can see, the Paladin's not getting focused. Now, that's pretty much a bad mistake. Now, of course, it is good for Valkyrie to focus the casters first, but once those are gone, now you've got to prioritize what you need to focus. You never need to focus a Strength Hero when there's a Paladin nearby. It won't work. It doesn't work. It just doesn't. But he's going to lose his MK, but the clap is pretty much worth it, because now he's going to lose, like, all his crap. So, yeah, Paladin's taking some damage, whatever. Try to kill the Fire Lord. Not happening, Invulnerability Potion. But he's going to, wow, Survivor's like the worst Blizzarder ever. Awesome. But here we go. Blizzard owned. Okay, thanks. And, pretty nice. You notice he's left with 4 Spellbreakers, Paladin, and an Archmage. Just as I was saying, the Spellbreakers are going to be very, very important. Now, one thing you're really going to have to watch for is the fact that he's going to focus your priests all day. He's got 300 range summons, 500 range berserkers, and that's what he's going to be using against you. He's going to be using some sort of medium-ranged piercing. And now it is well within your ability to simply pull away from that, because heal and dispel, has like 600 range or so, 600, 800 range around there. And so it is possible for you to keep them back, because losing your priest is going to really hurt you, because then he's going to mass up a huge summon force. And with Incinerate, he's going to be able to kill your Spellbreakers. And you can see this priest again. They die very quickly to Focus Fire, especially with Spellbreakers in there. But you shouldn't be worrying about Spellbreakers too much, because they should be, up in the front lines against your Spellbreakers. Now, there's an interesting bit of information. Have you ever noticed that all the every anticaster has a damage type bonus against itself? Ethereal form, magic damage, piercing damage versus light armor, magic damage versus light armor, normal damage versus medium armor. All the anticasters have a damage type bonus against themselves. Isn't that cool? Okay. And also Dryads, piercing versus unarmored. Anyway, back onto a important topic of the actual game. Never focus Paladin once he's level 2, because he's going to use Divine Shield, and unless you have like 20 Spellbreakers that are instantly going to drain all his mana, you're never going to kill him, so don't try. So, oh look, you just wasted like 550 damage, and that's like piercing damage, which means it actually was like 1,000 damage. You could have like killed 5 priests with it. Nope, sorry, good game. But however, guess what? Silence owns, because he can't heal, he can't dispel, and then as soon as he blizzards, he gets silenced again. Good game. So obviously that's kind of hurting him, but as long as he can keep healing with the Paladin, since he has a bit of a damage type bonus against his opponent, he's doing pretty well. And Ghostly Micro means Paladin doesn't die. So TP out, good game, because the MK came out. That's pretty much the reason, because he's going to kill his hero. Now, for some reason there's a gold peon running around, like, trying to fight. That's a little odd, but, whatever. And he's also got, like, 7 on gold, which is always cool. Yeah, fuck nig item. Wow, racist. He's calling him, like, a black guy. I think the term African American is a little more politically correct, thanks. Anyway, sorry, I'm, like, for some reason, like, zoning out a lot, I don't know. I guess there's really not a lot to Human Mirror so much as, get the right unit combination Micro War, and then go creep to whatever level you want, then go fight, and then go make more units, then fight again. There's not as much to it as other games, other mirrors, other matchups, whatever. So, Mass Piercing is a good strat, especially if you get Silence. But I think one thing the Firelord could actually make some good use of is, now that his opponent's got Dispel, is actually use Soulburn. Because he's got a Silent Staff, and with Soulburn, I think he could really, really own his opponents, and not allow them to cast spells at all. So that, no healing on the Paladin. If you Soulburn the Paladin right before you're about to kill the MK, MK will not get healed. You Soulburn the Paladin right before you're going to kill the Paladin itself, he can't Divine Shield. And I think that's pretty useful. Anyway, here we go. It's like fighting time. Now the Archmage is getting focused, and he's a noob, so, wow. Down goes the Archmage. Nope, just kidding, he's alive. Good game, no worry. And he pulls back. So what he's trying to do, what Survivor's trying to do is just get the best blizzards he can, the best claps he can. As you saw right there, that was some awesome blizzard and clap, and the spell went off, you saw those 2 guys die right at the exact same time. But guess what, the Archmage is dead, you're a noob. But guess what, Stormbolt, die Archmage, because Stormbolt owns potions, because he was stunned. Good game. Right, so, now what's happening is, pretty much Bagger's waiting for the mana potion to be popped so that he uses the mana potion. Because if there's no Stormbolt at all, obviously he's not going to die. But as soon as he pops the mana potion, he's like, okay, Stormbolt's coming, TP, go. And TP's out. Survivor used a mana potion and didn't get anything out of it. But really, one of the things you have to do when you see your opponent TP, instantly press Alt, find something to nuke. I don't care if you're using level 3 coil against a 2-hit point sheep. Obviously, you wouldn't try to kill sheep, but as an example, just use it because, you know what? It's better to burn 75 mana than not get a kill, because that's more important. I don't care if you're killing a peon, or a wisp, or something with level 3 coil. It's EXP, and it's gold down the drain for him, and your mana will regen, because you have brilliance or something. So here we go. It's Archmage revival time. That Archmage really needs to die. Like, that revived right next to his army. He could have gotten a bolt off and killed it, like, instantly. But hey, guess what? It's like Spellbreaker owning time. So go own the Spellbreaker. TP, TP, TP. Oh, lucker. Wow, I got IM'd, Gosu. Okay, so, yeah, I have no idea who IM'd me, but going back to Warcraft now. Alright, the game paused itself. I'm at 21:11 right now. And that Firelord's about to die, whatever. Alright, I'm unpausing in 3, 2, 1, unpause. So hero focus is a big deal. As you can see, he's gonna like own this Archmage because like the Archmage is a noob, like But TP goes off because he doesn't want to get storm bolted. So in a short amount of time, he killed an Archmage twice and forced 2 TPs. Meanwhile, he just revived his Archmage once at a tavern. That's pretty good. But whatever. Now both the players do have expansions, and Tiger's going to continue to try to mass ranged, and that Sork just got owned like a noob. Whatever. Oh look, some lava spawns, and they're not getting dispelled. Gosu. Okay. But he recently revealed that Expo, and he's going to go for it now. So I was like, hey Expo, die. And the Expo was like, well, okay, you're a survivor. I guess you're always right. So I will die for you. Okay, thanks. Survivor was like, GG noob. Alright, anyway, Blizzard owns peons, just in case you didn't know. And now it's fight again time. So here we go. Now he's gonna try to get into a spot where we can actually clap, but guess what? Spellbreakers own him. Uh-oh, Spellbreakers surround. Oh man. Guess what? Go Blizzard. Oh yeah, and Paladin too, but Blizzard equals good game militia. So good game militia. And the MK still can't get out, so he's a noob, but he's gonna continue to focus Spellbreak as best he can. Still has mana. On the Paladin. Hey, how about you silence the Paladin, noob? But okay. Oh, Archmage surround. That's gonna help a lot more, considering that the Archmage has more armor. So right now, if you silence the Paladin, you could probably almost kill it, but guess what? You didn't. What a noob. Probably because silence is on a different hero, but whatever. So game over. 23 minutes, and the game's gonna run for the 50 seconds, but whatever. Survivor wins. Pro imbalance, and that's how you beat Rangecraft with Archmage Firelord. Probably not going to be too common, but Rangecraft itself is also a good strat. You might want to do that yourself. I had a game a little while ago. It was just a custom for fun. I went Mass Rifles, Archmage, Beastmaster, Firelord, just massed piercing. That's all I did. He went like solo MK or something, or like Archmage-MK, I guess, with pretty much like mass footies. And I won because I'm Gosu, but whatever. Anyways, moving on to the topic of D-Boss being a noob. Oh man, I had a great quote. I'm trying to remember what it is now. Oh, no, I forgot. Darn, that's imbalance. I had a great quote of him being a noob. It was better than the whole, guess what? He's going DK Lich against you. Thanks, It was even more retarded than that, but I forgot what it was. So unfortunately, D-Boss is off the hook for that. But you know what? He's still a noob. And yeah, I guess that's about all. I'll try to do a more applicable game later, as opposed to holy crap, Human Mirror, which is like the lamest matchup ever, aside from Night Elf Mirror. And there you go. So this will be the end of this, and go enjoy the replay pack. And I'll probably do some more Night Elf audios later, noobs. Alright, so yeah, bye. And D-Boss is a noob.